By 15 points, their largest winning margin. France headed into the Paris nightlife for the 40-25 victory. They take that tonight. That ended a 14-match winning streak by New Zealand against the French. Well, when France and New Zealand meet, well, the match has, as usual, the potential to be an absolute thumper of a game. Both teams have power, speed and delicacy. Teams with exceptional skills and the ability to produce true rugby magic. Antoine Dupont will again lead the French. Scott Barrett, the captain of New Zealand. This is the Stade de France, is where the French rugby nation was devastated when their team went out of the World Cup in the quarterfinals. There was real belief that this French team would become the first one to win the William Webb Ellis Trophy, and they had a home turf on which to display their best dance moves. New Zealand felt the same way after a final. They lost to their great historic rivals, South Africa. But what will these two produce tonight? Well, it's 9 o'clock at night here. The French do love a late kickoff. They are regular occasions. It certainly adds that extra dimension to the atmosphere that has the capacity to really crackle when the French are in the mood, and they are most definitely in the mood tonight, as is the crowd.
Yes, fans, listen if you can for the national anthems. We start with the national anthem of New Zealand.
She
pre-game entertainment routine like this country. New Zealand coming into this tour off the back of a merely so-so rugby championship. The multiple winners finished second behind South Africa, winning 3 games, 2 of those wins against cross-Tasman rivals Australia, but they've picked up very much since, winning their last 5 matches, and it was New Zealand's second string that hammered Japan late last month. But where exactly are they as a side? Well, there's nothing quite like the haka and the pitch black of a Parisian night, though I did not feel any romance there at all. Well, the French side, the same front row that started against Japan, so Tavita Tatafu keeps his place. Same second row, changing the back row. Paul Boudehon, after 2 tries off the bench, starts tonight. Antoine Dupont captains the team. Damien Penaud sadly not fit. Gabien Villiers starts. Fico adds gravitas to the midfield, and Romain Buros replaces Leo Barry and makes his debut at fullback. The All Blacks, will they bring back Cody Taylor after concussion and the Sam Cane out? Sami Penny Finau is at 6, with Artie Savea and Wallace Satiti swapping shirt numbers. New halfbacks from Dublin, Roygard and Bowden Barrett will be in harness. Sevi Rees in for the injured Mark Talea. 3 Barrett brothers on the pitch, one of them Scott. He is the captain. And the replacements, a 6-2 split on the French bench. Romain Taufifenua, Olivon Le Garec return for New Zealand. Patrick Tuipulotu will win his 50th cap if he comes on. Mathieu Jalibert declining a place on the French bench, causing bubbles in the French camp. Alongside me is Dowie Morris. Your thoughts on that?
On the haka, there's some people that want to get rid of the haka. Oh my word, the reverence the Paris crowd showed that. I wish again Twickenham would, but this is just made for an absolute cracker again. Justin Marshall, the great All Black legend scrum half I was reading this week, thinks their team's about 80%. Is that only 80%? They can't get to 100 as so many great sides have before. And France have had the jelly bear problem at fly half. He's thrown his toys out the pram and spat his dummy out. Well, Fabien Galtier said, well, so be it. He's welcome back. But they start the first blocks to the next World Cup back in 2027. So that's where France are, and that's where Fabien Galtier is.
There is Fabien Galtier. Scott Robertson, the New Zealand coach. Nina Amashu Kelly from Georgia is the referee. France have won the toss, and they will kick off, playing from left to right in front of a sellout Stade de France. 82,000 are here.
Time is on.
Well, I'm Mark Robson. My wingman is former England Grand Slam winning international scrum half Dowie Morris, also a British and Irish Lion. New Zealand, the All Blacks, playing in the white shirts tonight. And away goes Buros, his first touch in a French shirt. The Bordeaux Begle fullback very much in form, in for Leo Barret, who had a decent debut against Japan last week. Now Dupont. What will he bring to this French team tonight? Normally, it's a lot. Here is Aldrit, the former French captain, multiple player of the match winner. And now it's Miafu, and already they play, and they play quick through to Tafu. Here's Dupont getting onto the front foot, and it's Ramos who gets the ball away, and the pass is timed to perfection. Here is Flamand. It's an explosive beginning. Moivaka's on this side with his arms in the air. He wants the cross kick. He was on the wing a lot last week against Japan. He picked up a couple of tries. But France are going more direct. Viewing the beefy customers, the big forwards. There's a knock on there. And Mashu Kelly blows his whistle with a breathless first minute, Dowie Morris.
Indeed, indeed.
Stay away. No, stay
We were
away.
expecting an absolute firecracker of a game, and we've got a few injuries straight away as the competitive edge is shown. You can see Dupont. He is the puppet master. He's just pulling the strings. He's come back fitter than he was actually when he went away to the sevens, I think, personally. That's both mentally and physically. That one just not quite going from Aldrit. But there's matchups all over the place, and this is again what sides want to do. They want to get the offload through, send the big trucks right up the middle, and then Dupont right behind, orchestrating things left to right. Lovely, delicious kick over the top. And luckily, just New Zealand just scrambling back on that right-hand side. But a tremendous start to this game.
Well, France recovered somewhat from that traumatic World Cup exit with a second-place finish in the Six Nations Championship, Ireland winning that again. But coach Fabien Galtier has already indicated the nature of his pathway to the next World Cup, and a win tonight against the All Blacks would smooth a few early cobblestones. Jean-Henri Colombe stands by, but Tatafu thinks he's going to be fit enough here to continue. We shall see. Tavita Tatafu, who is, we hear, going to Bordeaux next season, where he'll join his cousin of the very same name, Tavita Tatafu. But New Zealand, well, they've got a concussion. So on straight away for his second cap is Peter Lakai, and it's Sami Penny Finau who leaves early, the Tongan-born flanker. So changes in the back row for New Zealand going into the game, and already an alteration in the first couple of minutes.
Just not what you want. He doesn't look right at all. Obviously the medics are there straight away. Looks like he's slightly concussed, being carried on. Hopefully he will get the correct treatment, but I wouldn't be expecting him to be back on the field. But interesting, yes, Surveyor playing at 7, normally an 8, and you've got Wallace Satiti, who's been outstanding, back in his position where he plays for the Chiefs at 8. So a lot of pace off that base.
Yeah, his best position, Wallace Satiti, whose father was the captain of Samoa in the 2003 World Cup. Named Wallace after William Wallace, the great Scot, about which the movie Braveheart was made. His father formerly played for the Border Reivers in Scotland. Oh, that's a great, great clearing kick. It is thumping distance and nothing that Buros could do about it.
This is just the mistake. There it is. It's the knee on the back of the head. Again, it's one of those rugby incidents that happen. It's a physical game. But that was some exit from France. I believe England had some problems exiting the ball at Twickenham. The loss against South Africa. Well, we couldn't see that game, but we will do, I'm sure, later on, the highlights. But that is some distance.
Piata Moivaka, Flamand gets his fingertips to it, but that's all. And New Zealand getting in amongst that French line-out, disrupting the set piece early on. Here's Roygaard. Preferred to Cortez Ratama at scrum half today, and Bowden Barrett brought into the 10 position again, where he started in the first game in this tour. He was concussed, so Damien McKenzie has been dropped. That's Tyrell Lomax, and France pounce, and here's Dupont. Though he hesitated slightly there, they're on the back foot here, but here's Fiku, tries to dance past Wallace Satiti. Dupont, Alexandre Roumaud, there's a knock on now. Turnover ball, counter-attack, Roygaard, the charge down, taken by Barrett, and off goes Jordy Barrett, who's off to Ireland at the end of this Sort of Nations series to play on a short-term contract for Leinster, and penalised at the breakdown. Olivier Roumaud, penalty, New Zealand.
few mistakes makes an entertaining game, isn't it? Not for the coaches, but definitely for the crowd. Absolute sellout crowd. You're expecting big things. Both sides just trying each other out. Interesting. Well, it isn't interesting for me, but Cam Rygaard is back at 9. It's the controlling factor as the big Geordie Barrett takes it in initially to set the target for the forwards. But that Rygaard again, he's got to get his forwards going, but also he's got to keep one eye for me on Dupont, who is the best player in the world by some mile, I think.
Cody Taylor's 95th cap. Clean line out now. Bowden Barrett, 133rd international. Moefana tries to drop on the ball, taken by Artie Savea. And both teams have introduced a punishing physicality at the start of this game. Certainly the mistakes are being pushed.
It's the sleight of hands, isn't it? It's just that offload. You got to keep your hands free. And all these guys, they just need, for me, the All Blacks just need to be a little bit deeper. You can't be too deep as far as I'm concerned. It just gives that ball carrier just that extra split second. You watch now the intrinsic moves. You can hit three players. It's gone to the middle one, which is Artie Savea, and then he's just trying to pop that ball back to the right onto, was it Ioane? But again, it didn't go to hand. But those are the small margins. They came off the 40 metres down the pitch or scoring a try.
New Zealand lost to South Africa by 1 point in the World Cup final in this stadium. France went out by the same margin, 1 point to the same opponents in this stadium in the quarter-finals. New Zealand beating Ireland and Argentina in the Stade de France in the knockout stages on their way to playing the Springboks, who beat England 29-20 earlier on today. It's penalty. I think he was going to go for the reset initially, Amashu Kelly, but he's increased it to a penalty.
Well, it's Matt Carley's called that on the far side. The touch judge, Dupont, will go ask Ramos, who's laser straight with his kicks normally on the halfway. So that was a call from the touch judge. And I was just about to say that both sides are really big units and they get parity. You can just see that it's just gone down on this, as we see it, just on the knee. Normally you get a chance of a reset, but again, everyone's trying to speed the game up. World Rugby, going to referees, you got 60 seconds, 30 seconds just to make the game quicker, and I'm all for it.
Thomas Ramos is going to have to give this one the wild fandango from 51 metres.
He's got a boot in him, mate.
He's normally exceptionally accurate, and Thomas Ramos in for the injured Romain Ntamack. The controversy before the game, Mathieu Jalibert, who thought he should have started at 10 tonight, refusing to sit on the bench, and he's gone back to his club.
Well, there's a lot of people in France who think that Jalibert is fantastic at 10, the best 10 in the top 14. So, again, as I said, he spat his dummy out, but again, he's too good a talent not to come back in the side. He'd rather go to Bordeaux and probably play for them to get a bit more match fit. But yeah, it's Fabio Galtier was a terror to play against, and also I think sometimes to manage. He has his ways, but that's it.
Former World Player of the Year, Antoine Dupont. There's another former World Player of the Year wearing a 10 shirt for New Zealand and Bowden Barrett. Away goes Will Jordan, 37 tries in 39 internationals. Jonah Lomu scored the same number of tries in 63 internationals. Bialbiale misses the attempted intercept, and away goes Artie Savea, showing the skills that brought him a great sevens career before he excelled at 15s. Geordie Barrett, Scott Barrett, crunches across the gain line on the advantage. Barrett looking for the inside ball, so they know they can play with freedom here. Rygaard to Williams. There's a space, there's a hole, there's width on the outside as Clark goes, and Savea chips away, punches away at this French defence, and then Peter Lacaille gets over the try line. Well, what clever sword play from the All Blacks. There was witchcraft in there, and that was a classic All Blacks try.
Unbelievable, but again, the Blacks going up the right-hand side, they've come back left. That could have been Villiers underneath the sticks. It wasn't to be. Artie Savea's thanks Ramos very much for those 3 points, and he just runs straight over him. But for me, it's VAR, the second row. Watch this load for us, Jordan. Watch this one. He actually gets the ball over top of a defender, This is just simply phenomenal play from the second row. A great finish, it comes back inside, but that second row has given them a chance. You can see the strength there of Satiti, sorry, just crashing people out of the way. We knew it was going to be physical, and it certainly is.
Great try by Lakai. And Bowden Barrett, whose kicking can be inconsistent, but he was sharp there. But what about this?
Just a great step, isn't it? Back inside, back inside, back inside. Gee whiz. I thought Sean Edwards, I don't think he's going to be very, very happy with that. Ardie Savea, like I said, can play 8. He has been playing 8, but he's playing 7 today. And when you've got him on the wing like that, my word, we have another injury.
Well, you talk about the defence. France have conceded now 59 tries, Dowie, in their last 22 matches and a bit. That's almost 3 a game.
You have to ask questions. You know, you've got Sean there, who's a phenomenal, motivated defensive coach, but have they been worked out? You've got to tweak things all the time. England showed that under Felix Jones. They were getting better than they jettisoned him. Joel Abs come. You know, it's fine margins as the big lad goes off. And
yeah,
that was from the first hit. Unfortunately, he just caught his knee on the head of Finau, and he can't run it off.
No, he's injured. Tavira Tatafu, so Georges-Henri Colombe, the massive Georges-Henri Colombe, comes off the bench. They're all big boys these days. That's Rico Ioane.
Not on the ball, on the body.
Another player with 37 tries for New Zealand. 80th cap today for him. And penalty at the breakdown. Moivaka is loving that, and he's making the most of it. Well, they used to love it early, what they called a bagarre générale in French rugby, an all-in fight. It's more custard pies these days, but Moivaka making his mark.
Croissants and Shangapan. Just listen in.
I'll not appreciate you throwing the ball, see? No more. Thank you very much.
he knows what trouble is. Nina Maskew Kelly was once stabbed in the leg after a Georgian club match by a club official.
Lovely.
So he's not too worried about getting involved in stuff like this.
In front of 80,000 Parisians as well, because there's not many Kiwis in here tonight. It's all French now. Can they make this pay?
Moivaka taken by Rouma, whose father Olivier played over 60 times for France and played in a French team that won 3 times in a row against New Zealand. But New Zealand, they've turned the ball over and they've smashed it again, many's a mile down that field. But I thought they had, from this angle, it hasn't gone that far. Again, but the important thing is the turnover.
Well, it is, and that's actually, Rouma's gone up, he's got the ball there, he's all controlled. Not quite, it's just gone from grasp, he's actually just transferring the ball back. It's gone forward and they've lost 45 metres.
My back of the tail to Rouma, brilliantly worked. Paul Boudehall, 2 tries last week off the bench against Japan, played superbly well, was incredibly physical, as with this man, Gros, and again the New Zealand side get over the ball and they turn it over again. And is it Williams, the loose head, who has got his massive paws on the ball?
Yeah, the Crusader there, he just wins that. Scott Robinson looks on, he'll be happy with this start. Fabio Galtier just hidden there with the glasses. He slightly won't be, because again, you get in the kill zone down there, the 5-metre line out. They got the ball well, and this was the result of off the back of it. So they've made that mistake down there, and they've made another mistake down there, which releases the pressure. And again, all of a sudden, the All Blacks want to be exactly where they are, and with a throw-in.
Tamatai Williams with a turnover. Cody Taylor to Wallace Satiti. Here is Roigard, now Jordy Barrett. He's made an average of over 70 metres a match this year, Jordy Barrett, but pummeled backwards there his brother Scott. And again, Will Jordan, Aroni Clark. Hammers into Gabin Villiers, who's known as a small but good defensive player. And the defence is going to have to be more than good here, you fancy. Because again, they're challenging that gain line, a very cramped blind side. Lots of white shirts are there. And Clark goes into scrum half. Here is Satiti in superb form all year long. Roigard, now Peter Lakai, already a try to his name. Plenty of white shirts staying on this side. Wallace Satiti again carries. Blue shirts committed to that breakdown. Roygaard yet again. They're not shy about using this strip landing on this left-hand side, are they? Artie Survey, another man, well into the 90 caps. So much experience in this All Black side. Cody Taylor back after his concussion. Lakai looks to pick and go through and offload at the same time. Amashu Kelly watches closely and says turnover. And my goodness, Dummy Morris, the contest at the breakdown from both sides is fierce.
12 phases there, and they've kept that within, what, 15 metres. Again, Rygaard is just hitting, like you said, this left-hand side. He's not found a weakness down there. They just keep pummeling down the left. Then they flip the switch to go right. Luckily for France, they managed to turn over. But again, I've got to say, New Zealand will win the battle of the contact at the moment. They just get an extra yard, an extra inch sometimes just going over. That's Caleb Clark on this left-hand side, and it's just there. There's not many dominant tackles coming in from France. So again, a scrum half like Rygaard could just dictate things. That's the mistake. They just carried it one too many times. Shorten line out.
Moivaka again goes long again. The ball is interfered with and won by New Zealand. Scott Barrett flicks to Clark. Satiti. He's been on the ball a lot in the early stages. And why wouldn't he be with his record this season? Barrett to Barrett. Bowden to Jordy. And again the turnover. And again it's not a clear release this time by France. And the penalty goes to New Zealand.
You've got to be so precise on everything. Again, referees are looking to speed the game up. But also you've just got to be so clean, whether you're carrying the ball, whether you're trying to jackal the ball.
Oh yeah, on the line.
This will go down in the corner.
It's been some great games between these two World Cup matches. France, New Zealand, 43-31 in 1999, and an epic semi-final, 8-7 in the final in 11. 2007 quarter-final, 2018 to France. Then the 2015 quarter when New Zealand embarrassed France, 62-13. Well, no one being embarrassed here. Two very evenly matched sides so far. Great take by Vi. And now Cody Taylor breaks away, looks for Lakai. Tackle from BRA.
No.
They love working this blind side, drawing those defenders in. Sevi Rees. They went wide to wide, both sides against Ireland, and Will Jordan eventually scored. Will they try the same sort of tactic here? Well, they're in off their feet now in New Zealand, and the referee is taking no nonsense at all at that breakdown. The players have to stick within the laws.
Again, you've got to support your own weight. It's incredibly difficult when the game is played at such pace, and we're off again. I think that was Ramos. Dupont is in chase.
Ramos.
Hopefully for France, this doesn't go over the dead ball.
Dupont. Hey, nearly slipped in. Dupont pasted to get his hand on the ball. Did New Zealand just switch off for a little bit too long there?
Yeah, check the restart, please.
Oh, Will Jordan just gets it down.
6 inches.
Woo.
If that ball had gone to the touchline there, they would have gone back France almost, well, from where Ramos kicked the ball.
I think he'd rather be stabbed on the leg.
I don't know whether Jordan's got wing mirrors on the back of his shorts, but he needed them then. The crowd absolutely erupted. They thought the wonder boy, the best player in the world, Dupont, had got that down. I could see him herring after the ball.
Such pace and commitment to this French cause. Here is Burros, and now Aldrit, one of the French monster carriers over the years. Georges-Henri Colombe. Dupont, they got the ball away superbly under pressure to Flamand. Dupont again. Oh, the intercept for Sevi Rees. The winger has pace. And they're onside New Zealand. 3 French defenders. Biel Biarré is one of those. And he might just try to go here. He's a little devil, Biel Biarré. 2 tries against Japan last week.
If they go left, you've got Scott Barrett, the captain, on the wing.
Oh, Ramos likes this central kick. Dupont's not chasing that one. He's still knackered from the last one.
Here we go.
Oh, what a hit by Meafu. Oh, my goodness. 6'8" and 23 stone. Take a bit of that, and take a bit of that from Meafu. Jordy Barrett. Oh, this is getting very spicy all of a sudden. Listen to that crowd as Roygaard sets it for Barrett. Lovely flick to Tamatai Williams. Decent pace from the prop. Moivaka's got it. New Zealand have it. What is going on out there? It's crazy.
Well, there are a few mistakes. Again, the coaches, as I said before, are not going to like it. Scott Barrett asking, but we've got a great game because it's turnover ball. There is people waiting for the ball to go dead and nearly scoring a try after chasing 70 metres. He's got everything. He's got big prop forwards. Must be 20 stone. What is, he's got to beat Tamati Williams, and he's almost doing a goose step.
Well, they're bringing on water bottles. Should be bringing on oxygen masks. What's the water for?
There's big, big tackle after big tackle, and again, all they're trying to do. There you go. That's exactly what. But normally it's a centre or a fullback going through. Give it the loose head. He'll get over the line, and that's unfortunate. Then they just don't present it correctly. Oh my words.
Moivaka. Ruba, great take again. Here's Dupont, Ramos, Aldrit.
No, away.
Spinally tapping that New Zealand midfield. Oh, what a kick from Dupont and Biel. Well, he put through two little grubbers last week, scored 2 tries off them. He loves that move.
Look, there's nothing wrong with kicking, and when it's as precise as this, that's just the hair. It's just coming across the fullback. Is it Will Jordan? Yeah, just getting his foot out. He's got to do something. And another day that goes over Will Jordan's foot. That boy's in the corner again. And you go mad with his surname or full name or whatever. What a great game.
You can't beat a player with a hyphen.
Exactly.
On another line out. They got a well, they forced the knock on. New Zealand have been so good at this through the years, dissolving the opposition line out.
But it is, again, every part of the game is crucial, but the liner in particular is you have to get it nailed. If you lose 2 or 3 liners, you're very rarely not going to lose the game. Big fella's having a rest. He got injured right in the first couple of minutes of the game.
Well, trying to win a game or a championship without a set piece, it's like trying to win Strictly Come Dancing in a straitjacket. You're just not going to do it.
Okay, let's go.
I'm just picturing you in a straitjacket, actually. That might be later tonight in Saint-Denis.
Yeah, walk on the back foot. Inside, yes.
20 minutes has gone just like that. 3-7. Well, don't worry about the score because there's plenty more coming, and I'm sure.
Remember the match in the opening game of the Rugby World Cup was a classic too. Damien Penaud and Melvin Jaminet with tries for France. Thomas Ramos contributing 17 points that day.
Bye. Set. Hold that.
Cam Roygaard. Oh, that's punishing scrummage. Amashu Kelly showing a lot of patience, deciding it's not a penalty. All the advantage there physically certainly seemed to be with New Zealand.
I'm no expert, but Tamati Williams has just done his job there on this loose head side. He has just creamed his opposite number.
On an angle. We're going to come up, all right?
The referee said it's at an angle, so that's why.
Stay flat. Stay flat.
That's why the scrum's got to stay flat. But
up and 90 degrees. Let's go again. Reset.
New Zealand enjoying the majority of possession so far. Meafu, the biggest man on the field, he's already made 7 tackles, and 2 of them were rib crackers.
I haven't had a chance to look at the stat machine. But again, last couple of times New Zealand have exited superbly, especially from this area. Again, saying that, they'll probably give it back to the 10, miss out 2 people and give it to Caleb Clark on this left-hand side. There you go.
Yeah, penalty this time. You felt it might have come a few seconds ago, but
back,
definitely now.
Going across. Yeah.
Remember, this New Zealand side is kind of rebuilding. In the recent Rugby Championship, they lost twice to South Africa and Argentina. South Africa winning that Rugby Championship for the first time in 5 years. But they've had a great tour to the Northern Hemisphere so far. Wins against England and against Ireland. Tamatai Williams with, putting Cologne to sleep in that scrum.
You got Lomax, who's not a bad scrummager on the tight set as well, so you've got a lot of strength coming there.
New Zealand line out working a lot better than the French one so far. Ardi Savea, former nominee for World Player of the Year. Barrett, Scott, the captain. Backs now sweeping, Satiti in the line. Roygaard, flicked. And Roygaard again with the possession for Jordy Barrett and Ardi Savea working together. Jordy Barrett tries to clear out. Again, great competition at the breakdown by France, but they can't win it. Now here's Tyrell Lomax.
Good effort.
Roygaard and Will Jordan. Tamatai Williams already. We've seen a searing break from the goose stepper, as Dowie calls him. And here they come again. There's width here. Now, Gabin Villiers taken on by Ardi Savea. Look at the white shirts on this blind side once more. They're determined to explore that area of the field.
Brilliant from Roygaard. Brilliant from Savea, obviously. Again, he's so difficult to put down, and he also gives you 2-3 yards afterwards. This is his partner in crime, Satiti, playing in 8, which he likes to play, and this is when he's on the wide and wonderful. Feints to kick over the top of Villiers, and then gives, like I said, 3-4 metres. The presentation is good, and Roygaard, there's no options on that left-hand side. Just puts a lovely little grub kid in, which puts pressure on the French line-out, which hasn't been going well.
It had to go well there, because that would have put them in real trouble inside their own 22. Flamand takes it, Maibaka breaks away. Tackle from Aroni Clark. Now Gabin Villiers back on the side, the Toulon winger.
And going forward. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Stay.
That's Roygaard doing well. He's ripped it. I think it was from Villiers, but it's deemed to go forward.
So it was just a collision there. Ripped by White, go forward, Scrum blue.
New Zealand, by the way, they've got 2 squads in the Northern Hemisphere. The New Zealand 15, the second string, have played Georgia and Munster. And the big boys, Ireland and England, so split across 3 countries, shows the depth. Antoine Dupont, you don't want to see that if you're French, down injured. Maibaka, such a great game in the loose, and his tackle count last week, and continuing that form this week.
30 tackles. I had to look at it 3 times and check it, but yeah, again, that is incredible work, right? I know Japan aren't the strongest of sides, but Roygaard's pretty strong in there. He's done his job, he's nicked the ball, he's ripped the ball, but unfortunately it's gone forward. But they've got France where they want to be. They've got Dupont where they want to be. Trying to exit from their 22. Oh, my word. The crowd, needless to say, are not best pleased.
You may not have heard 82,000 people all boo at the same time before.
I think they're changing, but I'll have a look on that. Okay, cool. Read by White, Scrum blue. Yeah.
Well, no second look from the officials. The TMO off screen will have had a look at that replay, or replays where necessary.
But that's good. Come on, if there's nothing serious, let's get on with it.
Square shoulder, a little bit out. Square shoulder? Yeah.
The front rows are thankful for the breather anyway.
Stay square.
Jean-Baptiste Gros out there is going, oh, here we go. We've got Lomax again.
Let's go.
New Zealand, 54 defenders beaten in their first 2 matches, 24 offloads, and we all know that they love to play, and they're dominating the French at the moment, certainly in terms of airspace. They've been inside this French half more often than not in this first 25 minutes.
Okay, let's quick reset. You two, shoulder square.
There's a lot of chat going on there.
Simple as that. Shoulder square.
Tamatai Williams is saying, look, I've got him in. I've got him exactly where I want to be. He can be that big. Colombe is very, very big, but if you don't get in the right place, Savat knows that. Famous French hooker, coach now. But again, if you're in the wrong place and you get that weight coming through to you, it doesn't matter how big you are, you've got to have the technique.
William Servat there, the former Toulouse player, as Dowie said, the French scrum coach, on his hunkers watching this very closely. This is his specialist area, as it's supposed to be for Cologne, but he's felt a lot of pressure from Williams, and again, he cannot cope with the New Zealand loose head. And away goes Roygaard, and Roygaard is going to score! He has snaffled one, he has kidnapped the ball from French hands and stabbed them through the heart.
Well, welcome back, Cam Roygaard. Absolutely sensational play, but again, get up there. And if you're on the winning side tonight, go and buy your front row a couple of pints, because they deserve that. Especially, I got Tamati Williams has got Cologne in pieces. Equally, Lomax is doing a job there, but it comes from the set piece. That's fortuitous. But again, Gregory Aldrich, normally one of the safest pair of hands. Rygaard's just got on. He's tried something. He's got the ball back in it, and he's over underneath the post. And this will be 7. Again, set piece, Rob. Not only line out, you start creaking in your scrum, and all of a sudden now, the referee's thinking, right, somebody's got the ascendancy. Well, this guy is back in a starting shirt for the first time, and he knows exactly. Yes, I was a bit lucky, but I still got to finish it. Aldridge just held his head. Oh dear.
Well, mon Dieu, as we said, without a set piece, the line-out's not working, the scrum's not working. Tamatai Williams is eating Cologne alive at the moment. Poor old Georges Henry.
Use it! 2!
And that's a lot of eating. Roygaard's clearance. Here is Buros. Haven't seen any of his attacking skill and flair so far. Might see it here. Away goes Dupont. Can Le Petit General bring something to this French side? Boudahon was like that last week against Japan, making big meters on the carry. Moefana, Rumat. Clear out's quick. It's quick ball once more. Ramos, Jordan and Villiers and Fiku all grasping for the ball. None can get hold of it.
You stepped in, you drifted away. It's a clear attempt to catch the ball. First look on by white, then by blue. So scrum blue.
Dupont trying everything out there.
Antoine Dupont, who rebuilt the Notre Dame Cathedral using only his teeth, but he can't quite get his teeth into this match, Dowie.
He can't, there'll be no platform. Again, what happens is now he becomes a target, because again, as soon as you're going forward, it's an easy game, especially with his skill set. He's going left and right, but at the moment they're just forcing things. They don't need to force things. There's only 30 minutes into the game. Yes, they're 11 points down. There you go, that man is happy, because again they're forcing the mistake. Dupont is that experienced though. Just calm it, take a chill pill, have a word with his forwards. That's the big thing he needs to do. Right, we need to sort this out.
What's French for toast? Because they've got the French scrum on toast.
Well, again, we'll see from here. Now, if I'm Julian Allreed, Gregory Allreed at the number 8 position, I'd be off the back of there as soon as I can. Dupont in and out and get that ball into the midfield. Because on the evidence of the last 2 scrums, there's only one way this French pack are going, and that's backwards.
Bet Georges Henry can't wait for this one.
No fighting. We go in the gaps, no fighting. I don't want you to touch your heads. Let's go again, let's go.
He's just got his nightmare vision in front of him, Tamatai Williams.
And Colombe's normally coming on for the last 30 minutes, so again, you know, these guys get used to that role. All of a sudden, bump, you're on, pal. Different game, but again, as I said at the start, Fabio Galtier is looking to build for the next World Cup. He have to. And that's what he's set his mind and task on, so he's trying people.
France have lost just 3 of their last 33 at home. Scotland, South Africa and Ireland. And that South African game was in the knockout stages of the World Cup.
Right, here we go. Here we go.
Cologne under pressure again. They get it away quickly though through Dupont. Ramos is wrapped up so quickly there. Great defence from Jordy Barrett. Now Boudahon.
All the way, White. No hands.
Dupont whips the ball away to Gros. Try scored against the Brave Blossoms. Fiku, 92nd cap tonight. So much experience, as is this man Aldrit. Now Dupont. Gros once more, standing off the edge, floating round the corner. Dupont looking for inspiration. Colum, Dupont, Miafu. Moivaka, the mobile hooker, trying to penetrate, more like it from France. They're getting somewhere here at last. Dupont, Fiku waits. It's Gros. Quick ball, quick pickup. Excellent handiwork. The crowd is highly animated. Big men all around the ball, but they go wide, and they must, and they do. Romain Burros, on his debut, scores for France, and my goodness, they needed that. And listen to this crowd, celebrate it.
I know commentators say it, the noise in here, you just said it, Robert, it's unbelievable. Again, simple rugby, someone's had a word with the back forwards. This guy's going from left and right, chinking around, and actually when he comes down to it, just pick the ball and go. Just cherry ball round the side. Mavaka just picks it up right through the guts. The old pick and go, pick and go, pick and go. One out, and then when you're ready, let's go. Let's pull the trigger. And Burros, as you said, on debut gets a try. He's had very little ball out wide, and actually they were like blue bees round a honeypot, the whole French team, until Burros called for the ball on that left-hand side.
10 seconds.
Ramos with the conversion. He's past the 350 points mark for France tonight. Burros with 15 tries for Bordeaux in the last season and a bit gets his first for France in his first game.
Well, Sean Ed was talking before the game. He's been watching him for 3-4 years. He said, there's something about him I like, and he's been given his chance. The crowd enjoyed that. It's a seesaw of a game, but again, if I'm the French forwards coach, I'd be having a quiet word. Right, lads, we have to fix this. Otherwise, we're going to put ourselves under a lot of pressure. We can score tries. We just proved that. We've got to get the set piece sorted.
Boudahon takes the restart. Here is Gros with Miafu on his shoulder, stapling himself to the loose head's shoulder. Dupont was charged down last week. Doesn't make many mistakes, Dupont. First minute of the match.
He made 2 mistakes in 2 minutes, and I've never seen that.
Ronnie Clark keeps the thighs pumping through contact. Good ball for Roygaard. Tamatai Williams enjoying his rumbles in the loose. Having a great time. Here's Barrett to Barrett. Satiti stepping and dancing and jiving. Roygaard, oh, there's a sense of some space there. It was almost a gap between two defenders. Jordy Barrett muscling the ball to ground for his team and doing well. Bowden Barrett, now 33 years of age. Jordan for Clark, takes on Villiers, and Ramos nearly spliced the two of them. If he got through, he was away. Winger's pace, Lakai. There's an offside advantage here.
Free play. Free play.
Savea,
go for it.
Artie Savea, him and his brother Julian have scored 74 tries between them for New Zealand. Clark. Villiers got his hands full with the big New Zealand left winger, and he's struggling to contain him. Williams, Rumat with a tackle. Roygaard, no, it's not a great pass, is it? Here's Jordy Barrett trying to recover.
Okay, no advantage, going back for offside.
Satini wants to take it quickly. All became a bit of a fumble and a bumble, but that penalty to come.
I think Scott Barrett is just going to take 3. It's almost right in front of the poles.
Shot call.
You're exerting a lot of pressure. You're keeping hold of the ball. No Sam Kane tonight, who was injured last week against Ireland. Big cut on the head. His dad played for New Zealand as well. Ronnie Clark's pa. So physical out there. You've got to be in the right body position, carrying that ball. There is a bit of a knock here, I think. Is it? It's one of the Barretts, and I think it's Geordie. That's Scott, obviously, the captain.
The tackler just slowing.
Jordy Barrett seems all right.
Beauden Barrett with the 3 points for New Zealand. Beauden Barrett, who won the World Cup in 2015 with New Zealand. They beat Australia in the final. Dan Carter was 10 that day, dropped a goal to pretty much seal that particular match.
Yeah.
You got 3.5 to go. He is going off. I think it's probably just for a HIA, just to make sure. Again, you don't mess around these days. Now they've got 3.5 minutes to secure themselves, the All Blacks, and France to turn it round.
What a chase by BRA, but he couldn't quite get there. Rico Ioane did. So Anton Leonard-Brown comes on for his 83rd cap for Jordy Barrett. Experience for experience. Roygaard. Buaros growing in confidence. The try will have helped Dupont for Gros. Runs into Tyrell Lomax. By Vaca.
Off your feet.
Sets well, long arms. Ramos inside, looked forward. Amashu Kelly was in line, says play on. And then the penalty.
Clear ceiling. On your feet, please.
Not on their feet again. The referee's been very sharp on staying on your feet, going into the breakdown.
You've got to give the opposition as much chance of getting that ball in a defensive pattern. Basically, Flamand goes and seals the ball off. He's off his feet, so that's what it is. Again, you've got to be so clean, the referee, but he's both, you know, he's for both sides. There's Flamand, he's just flopped onto the ball, then he gets up to pretend, and the pitcher to write to the referee, no, I'm okay, you're not. The first initial movement was there.
Great work by Buaros, taking and then turning, using his back as almost an extra defender. And here comes Leonard-Brown straight into the action. Roygaard for Scott Barrett, just the 2 Barretts on the field now. Cody Taylor. Satiti. He's been well marked in this game, as he has to be. Roygaard. Barrett. Rico Ioane has led the haka in the last couple of games. Satiti hit slightly high by Colomb. He was certainly hit robustly, that's for sure. Roygaard, where is it? There it is. Keep your eye on it, young fella. In comes Budahol.
Somebody's got to play 9.
Yeah, he's tied up now, isn't he, Roygaard? His back's clearing out. Will Jordan goes in there. Rolls to the floor for Roygaard, for Anton Leonard-Brown. Strength again through contact, so important. Roygaard with the dummy, had Lakai outside him. Yet again, trying to suck in those French jerseys on the narrow side of the pitch. The counter-ruck attempt by Villiers. Now Tamatai Williams.
Now release on the ground.
Ball is seriously slowed down though, so they got to start again. A little rebuild. Leonard-Brown.
But they'll be quite happy with 3 points here. They're trying to milk a penalty, keeping it this tight all the time. I've got to say, Roygaard is having an absolute fantastic first 40.
Satiti. Oh, hammered back by Gros and Flamand. Now it's Rico Ioane. Weren't too many options for him there. Roygaard again. It's Will Jordan. Remember the phenomenal strike rate for New Zealand. Almost a try a game in 39 internationals. Beauden Barrett's in the pocket. He fancies a drop at goal. Never at the distance.
I was just going to say 3 is an option, but normally you want to be on your toes, not on your heels. That time they had the ball, but it was a kick to nothing. They could have done with 3. They weren't going to get a penalty. What a half of rugby we just witnessed.
What's that movie series called, Fast and Furious? I think you could use that to describe that first half here in the Stade de France in Paris. 3 times world champions, New Zealand 17 and France 10 at half-time.
Yeah.